Okay, good morning everyone. How are you today? Welcome to the program. This is the Diana White Show Live. We thank you so much for joining us from around the world and in the United States. We're hoping to have with us this morning Judith from People 490 to give us some information, and we're going to talk about a few things here because, you know, I am like, okay, you're going to have a what? The president invited the Democrats yesterday to the White House. He invited the Republicans, and of course some of them are rude enough and disrespectful enough to not want to face the president, because I guess when you're trying to shut the government down and don't want to pay the bills that you incurred already, it's kind of hard to face your enemy, because seriously right now I'm just thinking that President Obama is the enemy of the Republicans. Yeah? They're treating him like an enemy. They hate so much, they hate themselves so much that they can't find it in their religious hearts because they all claim to be conservative Christians. My golly, who the hell are these people who call themselves the Tea Partiers and they're the other Republicans who are conservative Christians, and you know they're obsessed with the vaginas of women and contraceptive and abortion, and who are these people? And another question, who are the 52% of Republicans who believe it's okay to not pay your debts? Is that the way you run your house? That you don't pay your bills? And yeah, we don't want any government, but yeah, we're going to open back the parts of the government that we think are good for us, public relations wise. You know, like the veterans. Oh, because everybody loves the veterans now because they're fighting for us, for our safety. So here we go. We do the PR thing. Well, immigration has been brought back to life by the Democrats who, like Charlie Rangel, who decided to get arrested just to say, get that back on the table. But how can you get anything back on the table when you have a bunch of radical terrorists in your government that's trying to blow up the bomb that they have at your foot? They have their finger on the detonator and the bomb is at your toe. So Obama has that bomb at his toe, so how do you negotiate with someone who's going to just blow it up anyway? And I am just sick and tired of seeing these Republicans talk about, oh, the deficit is going, you know, you don't pay. Oh, well, they're going back to the deficit thing now. Hello, John Boehner? I think, seriously, Speaker Boehner needs to go to the typing machine less and focus more on the job he's supposed to be doing as Speaker. And try to be like a parent who's in charge of their children, unlike that 9-year-old who stole away from Minnesota to Vegas and his dad is coming on television crying and covering his face. My golly, you have a 5-year-old you can't control? What's wrong with you? Did you breed a devil? These parents. Okay, so he said he asked for help and nobody helped him. Nobody's supposed to help you. If you can't have children that you can't control, you need not to be having them, brother. Seriously. And I'm truly saying that. Oh, everybody's oh so sad because he's crying. I don't want to hear those tears or see them. Well, you couldn't see them because he had his face all covered up in this black stuff. But parents need to take control of their children. And that's the reason we have all these crazy Republicans who their parents didn't show them any love. They don't love themselves, so they come and they try to blow up the whole world. Because they're so full of hate for themselves. Self-hate is a hell of a damn thing, you know. When you don't know who you are and who you want to love first, it makes you evil. Seriously. And when you are filled with envy and jealousy, that makes you evil too. In Solomon, it clearly states, jealousy is just like the grave. The grave is death and smell. So how do we process this? Now, you know, the Republicans are going today, but not all of them are going because they don't want to go because I don't want his invitation. They're acting like children. Uncontrollable children, like the man who's crying about his 9-year-old is crying about. Do these Republican guys in the Tea Party and women in the Tea Party, do they have parents that can call them and say, get off the pot and stop trying to run the country into disrespect and amok and everything else? And John Boehner likes to talk about respect. Has he shown any respect for the office of the presidency or the president himself? I don't think so. And, you know, Speaker Boehner, he is just like, he looks like one of those, just like the guy yesterday who's crying because he can't control his 9-year-old. Give me that 9-year-old and see what happens to him in a week. Without any whipping, because I don't believe in spanking, because I don't think it does or produces anything. It just let the kid more mad with you. That child is just out of control. And then he's going to come on television crying for sympathy? I don't buy into those things. Parents, that's the reason you are the parent. Yeah? The parent, and the person that you birth is called the child. Oh, he says, well, if I whoop him, then they call the police and they lock me up. And if I don't, this is what he does. You don't have to beat your children for them to listen. I've never, ever beaten my daughter. I probably barely slapped her one day, and that was like, nothing. Spanking your children solves nothing, in my opinion. It's just showing them that the way to solve your problems is through anger and violence. So we talk about this short-term deal now that we're hearing about. That's the latest gig. A short-term deal for 6 weeks. So we're going to have to go through this crap 6 weeks from now, where people are losing their money in the markets, and people's bills are not being paid, and debt this is not paid, and all the Republicans actually realize now that you actually need the government. But I tell you what, when I come back in this life, or maybe it's not even too late to change, I want to come back owning a bank. Yeah? Because the money is where the problem is. The money, follow the money and you'll find the control. And then, if I really don't want to be a banker, because I don't want to be a banker working for a bank, I want to own the bank. Or, I want to be a politician. So I can actually go behind the scenes to listen to these guys, to see the joy they feel when they're trying to hurt their own people that voted for them to send them to Washington to do a job. And if that doesn't work out, I'll just become a preacher. Because if you watch that new program, reality program, well, it's my one watch because I just wanted to see what it was saying. I went online and I researched and I see they got like 16,000 dislikes, thumbs down. What was the program called? Preachers of LA? and how much money they have, and how many mansions they live in, and how many Bentleys they're driving, and Porsches and Ferraris? Is that what being a minister is all about? Count me in. Yeah. Oh, they say the Bible said that God wants you to prosper. But I don't think God wants you to prosper and the people in your congregation are not prospering. I don't think God wants that. And they say, no, it's not from collection. It's from the books that I write, and I run a worldwide corporation. That's what they say. Yeah? Do you really think that God wanted all those preachers to have all that wealth? And when you check to see what's going on in the congregation, I guarantee you that some people probably are sleeping in their cars. But they're giving their tithe and their collection because they're being told that if you give your tithe, no matter what it is, God will give you back. So is it shameful? And I'm sure they're getting paid to do the reality television. By the way, it's on Oxygen, just in case you want to check it out, because I'm sure they're going to repeat it a million times. And I'm sure it's not going to last because people are going to be so pissed off. And that's why people wonder why people don't go to church. The people in church are sicker than the people out of church. And I'm being told that the church is a hospital? Yeah, it is a hospital. Are you getting healed there? Or are you just going down further? Because you see so much crap going on in the church. So in my next life, I have 3 options. Well, 4, because I could own my own media company on a big scale. You know, like a BET that just play those goddamn videos when they could be doing something worthwhile so people could watch them. So a media mogul rings a good bell for me. Politician, owner of a bank, a big bank. So I can control the money, and then I can use that money to control the politicians in Washington. So I'll get my way. How do we even evaluate this thing to say that these guys are working for the people? Well, I tell you what, a politician has to be truly, truly good to have me volunteer for them or vote for them again. And I'm encouraging you to stay home for 2014. And if you do vote, make sure you're voting out all these crazy Tea Partiers who believe in their heads that they have you so mesmerized they can't lose that seat. Because according to them, those are safe gerrymander seats for the Tea Partiers and the Republicans. No seat in politics should be safe. You elect them, they go to Washington, they do crap, they come back, they should lose. And is there a way to fire all these people that are not doing their jobs? If we were doing what they're doing in Washington, we would all be fired. And I would like to know how many of you out there could go to your boss and hold a gun to his head and say, if you don't raise my pay, I'm going to blow up the plant. Or I'm going to take all the workers down. How many of you could do that and get away with it? Because that's basically what's going on in Washington. And the Republicans, 52% of them who are talking crap about the debt ceiling, have they seen what's going on for the past, just with the government shutdown and the threat from John Boehner and Ted Cruz that they're going to not vote for the debt ceiling, which they know they goddamn well are going to vote for? They just lie and lie and lie and give us lies. What's wrong with these people? And I blame you, the viewers, in Kentucky, in Ohio, in Wisconsin. You keep voting these crazy guys back into power. What is wrong with you people? Are you that illiterate, that dumb, or that foolish? Which one? you vote for someone to go and represent your problems, and that person goes and vote against you basically, and you continue to vote for them? Mitch McConnell, how long has he been in Kentucky as senator? John Boehner, Paul Ryan must be trying to save the day. Oh yeah, and he didn't even mention the deficit, because now he can't, because the deficit is cut in half, so he has nothing more to talk about the deficit. And he didn't mention Obamacare in his op-ed either, because he knows that is not going to happen, because guess what? He doesn't even have to do it, because the Democrats, and I don't blame the Democrats for this, I blame the Secretary of Health, Sebelius, and her team for rolling out this thing with all those glitches. Now, President Obama is a president who won because of the internet initially in 2008. He revolutionized the whole campaign thing, fundraising thing through the internet. And you're going to tell me that his Secretary of Health is going to roll out something with so many glitches? Yes, they didn't expect so many people to go on, but my golly, my grandmother always told me, reach for the stars, and if you don't get that, you just come down a little bit. People are not being able to log in. People are being told to reset their password after they went on it the day before. Come on, guys. The Obama administration is the internet administration initially. So how do you screw up like that? What are you guys doing? Are you all just going out to big dinners and fat checks from your donors and raising funds for the next election? What is happening in the nation's capital? I would like to know, would you? You seriously need to know. And everybody need to get up off their laurels and be involved. Call your senator. Call your congressman or woman. And let them know that you are mad as hell and you're not going to take this anymore. Remember that broadcast movie? That's the line. We take a break and come back in just a moment. My golly. Oh my God. My God. My God. This is driving me crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. It's driving me. Wow. We'll come back in just a moment. Hello everyone. This is a season of giving. And I'm asking you to consider one of your gifts to be Deadly Negligence. Written by yours truly, Diana Wright. A story that will give you hope, make you mad, shock you sometimes, but is bound to increase your faith and make you believe in miracles again. So please, give Deadly Negligence as a gift. As the gifting season begins to heat up, I am depending on you to do this for me. Thank you so much, and be the proud person to give a gift of the book, Deadly Negligence. It's available on Amazon.com and on my website, DianaWrightTV.webs.com. Thank you so much for my viewers around the world and in the United States. Be blessed. Alrighty, okay, we are back. We are back, and this is the Diana Wright Show Live. We thank you so much for joining us. Spread the word, tell your friends, and I want to just say thank you so much to those of you who are watching, not only live, but you're going to the website and watching the show, and you're giving us good feedback on Facebook. You like us. We thank you, we thank you, we thank you, and we are just loving it. And it's not just, it's everywhere, people from all over. Yeah, I have some crazies trying to get me to be their special friend, and people wanting to, for me to go to the bank and collect money for them. Do they see me look like I'm stupid? Look into these eyes. Do you see stupidity or foolish there? No. You know, so I just laugh. I think I'm going to forward some of those to the SEC. Seriously, so people from around the world, wherever you are, sending me those things to go to your bank and get your money for you and all that. I don't do those things. Not into those things. What I'm about, my intention is to get each and every one of you to love yourself, love who you are, just the way you are, be the best person that you can be. And then you can make your additions. But you must start from a place of love, because I guarantee you that if those people in the Tea Party and the Republican Party and some of the Democrats too, if they loved who they are, and if they got respect from they were younger and respect themselves, they would not be behaving in this manner. It's reckless. It's ridiculous. It's terrorism. It is. And America, you need not go to anyone else's country around the world. I don't care how poor they are, how bad things are going. You need not go there to tell them what to do, because you don't know what to do in your own country. You need to fix your house first before you start trying to tell other people how to fix theirs. Okay? So I was listening to Senator Corker, and I was just cracking up. These guys, I don't know if they depress me, they make me mad, or what do they do? He goes, well, I'm a vegetable kind of guy, I'm not the chocolate cake kind of guy. Would you like to live in his house? So you can't have any chocolate cake just because he's a vegetable kind of guy? And he wants America to be like a vegetable kind of country? Come on here, people. And these Republicans that are running around talking about, it's no big deal if we don't pay our debts. And it's no big deal if the government is shut down for a couple of more weeks. Are they smoking something? Are they being supplied with some marijuana that we don't know about? And they're in a daze all the time? What is it that's going on? What is it in the air in Washington? It has to be something in the air. Well, yeah, you have some stupid ones around the country too, like in Florida and Wisconsin, and we can name them, and Georgia. Some crazy ones that does crazy things. Oh, they're not going to take the money for Medicaid. Who are you hurting? The people in your state. Governor Christie, even though he talks a lot of crap sometimes, he's the only sensible one. It's the law of the land, and get over it, he says. Can't his fellow Republicans hear him? Get over it. The Affordable Care Act is here to stay. It is the law of the land. You need to suck it up and shut up. Seriously. So, Senator Corker, please, don't use that analogy anymore. You're a vegetable kind of guy. And you don't look that skinny to me anyway. Oh, so you're not allowing anybody in your house to eat no chocolate cake because they're going to gain weight? Oh, no. What are you, a dictator or what? Huh. Wow. And the Republicans talking about respect. Does the Republican Party, any one of them, show any respect to the presidency or the current president, Barack Obama? No, they have disrespected him in every way. Don't forget, Speaker Boehner went and jerried him with the phone call that he had with the president. That, to me, is the height of disrespect. And they figure I didn't bust him at the ballot box, so I'm going to just kill him while he's in office by holding a gun to his head and let him just say, I give up. Well, President Obama, I don't know what you're talking about, this short-term thing, but we Americans do not want to go through this same crap in 6 weeks. So we don't want to hear it. We don't want to hear about no grand bargain either. We just want you guys to do your jobs, and why don't you all just get rid of the stupid debt ceiling anyway that you have there, and you're going to, pass it. So why do you have it in the first place? It's totally useless and creates anxiety among our people. Do you know how many people in this country are now depressed and suffering anxiety because even though they did not get the check yet, they are anxious if they're going to get the check from the government? Did these Republicans headed by Ted Cruz even give this a thought? And then they're going to parade with the veterans, and Mr. Stupid RNC chair is going to come and hold up his $100,000 check that he'll pay to open the memorial. I mean, come on, guys. Do you really think we're that stupid and that dumb? Come on. Crazy, crazy, crazy. I'm totally misunderstanding the whole conservative thing. Because I think we're all conservative in a lot of ways. I do believe that people should get up off their butts and go work for themselves and stop crying and take charge of their children, do the things that they're supposed to do. But there are some people who are always going to need the help or the assistance or the push of the government. So you can't be taking it out on the children who didn't ask to be born because some careless girl opened her legs and allowed another man to penetrate her, get pregnant, and she didn't want the kid. And then the kid becomes dependent on the state, so she has to get WIC and she has to get this and she has to get that and Head Start and all that kind of stuff. You can't take it out on the kid. The kid didn't ask to be here. And I truly believe that there has to be a way for us to get these women to close their damn legs and stop having all these babies that they don't really want. And just wait. And if you don't want to wait, put on a condom on him or get you some birth control. Wow. Okay. Let's take on the cops now. Because you see, I always believed that a lot of people who become cops because they want to have some power, just like the politicians. So they can drive the fastest on the road past you, and then they can stop down the bottom and give you a ticket. So they can take out their gun and shoot people. And yes, so they can ride the motorcycle and smash out the back window of the SUV, forgetting that there are cameras everywhere on the planet. And my golly, you're talking about he may lose his job. He should not. He should be fired. Because there are cops out there who are terrorists themselves. And they terrorize the communities that they work in. You call the cops? At my house, there's some foolish guy from down the street who's coming to bum my door down. And you call the cops come an hour later? What would have happened if the crazy man kicked my door in? So you see, people are crazy. And you're supposed to be living in a nice neighborhood. And the people are supposed to be nice. Yeah, he's related to one of the neighbors. So yes, we do have bad cops in the Big Apple, New York. And I hope they're not talking about he may lose his job. He needs to be fired. And the other cop too needs to be fired too. Now he's there to protect citizens. And he's going to join in to hurt the citizen? Oh my God. Wow. This is horrible. So, you know, Senator McCain says he's ashamed and all this kind of stuff. But I tell you what, I'm ashamed of the short-term deal that I'm hearing about because it's not going to solve any problems. 6 weeks from now, 2 months from now, when we're supposed to be enjoying the end of the year, we're going to be dealing again with a debt ceiling. Does it make sense to you? It doesn't make sense to me. These politicians need to do their jobs and figure out a way to make sensible decisions. Get rid of the debt ceiling if that's what it takes. And I don't want to hear about the debt ceiling in a year either. I want it gone. Okay, so we hear now that there's going to be cardless ATM. Cardless ATM? I wonder how that's going to work. Well, I don't use the ATM, because I hate the ATM. I truly do, because I just figure you're standing there and someone could just stand over your shoulder and see your business, and that doesn't work for me. I'm an old-fashioned kind of girl. Yeah, I'm conservative in a lot of my ways, yes, but I'm not a crazy conservative. Okay? So the cardless ATM. And have you actually wondered about your passport? Your new passport and your new driver's license. Do you wonder about all the little things they put on it? You want to wonder? They're tracking us. So every move you make, they know where you are. Sometimes you don't want them to know where you are. And that's one of the things I don't like about my phone. Your cell phone knows where you are. That should not be. Okay. I do not want my cell phone knowing where I am, okay? So we're going to take another break and come back in just a moment. Just a moment. We'll be back. I hope Judy's going to join us soon. So we'll carry that next. Hello, everyone. I am just asking you from around the world and in the United States to partner with the Diana Wright Show. Sponsor the Diana Wright Show or advertise on the Diana Wright Show. To do so, please call 561-228-1921. That's 561-228-1921. Please sponsor, partner with us, and advertise with us to make the show a big hit, just like you do by liking us on Facebook and following me on Twitter. Thank you so much. Don't forget the number to call, 561-228-1921. That's 561-228-1921. Also, we invite you to invite me to be at your event as a speaker and to tell you about my new book, Deadly Negligence. And so we encourage you to partner with us right here on the Diana Wright Show. Advertise with us and sponsor the Diana Wright Show. 561-228-1921. Thank you so much. Okay, we are back. And have you ever wondered who controls the banks in this country? The fuel in this country? 3 families. The Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, the Morgans. Do you know those people? Do you know who they are? They control everything from the NEA to the World Bank, to the World Health Organization, WHO. They control everything. And do you actually realize that this entire mortgage thing that put all of us underwater, put some of us to sleep in our cars, put some of us on the street, put some of us in the soup kitchens, that could all have been avoided? It all happened because of greed? My people perish for lack of knowledge. You need to start researching stuff for yourself so you know what's going on in this country. And money can indeed be the root of all evil. Whether you like it or not, it is. Because if you have no money, you can't really make much trouble without the money. And people will do anything to get money. So I guess the Pope, I was talking to my girlfriend last night and we were talking about the Pope, how much we love the Pope, and we are both now thinking of going back to a Catholic church. Pope Francis, the Vatican took another step. Yes, he took another step in its efforts to be more financially transparent. I mean, when you go to Rome, the Vatican is like it is a country unto itself. By publishing a first ever annual report for the Vatican Bank. Now, I just think that, Francis was not made Pope before because he was second. This is his time. And mean, he is truly stepping on some toes, doing some stuff. I'm not quite sure if I agree with him that he shouldn't live in the quarters that's provided. He just wants to live in that little one room and be humble about the whole thing, and he doesn't want to have sometimes the costumes and the pomp and pageantry of the whole thing. Yeah, I'm not so sure. They provided the residence, so he probably should live there, but he's not having that either. It comes as Italian prosecutors investigate alleged money laundering there. A Vatican Monsignor remains in detention. Oh my Lord. How many times are we going to see men of the cloth or women of the cloth do bad things? When is it going to stop? Well, the Bible warns us about false prophets, so what do you know? He's in detention, and the Pope himself probes the problems that have brought such scandal to the institution. Net earnings of the bank, known as the Institute for Religious Works, rose more than fourfold to 86.6 million euros, not dollars now, we're talking about euros. That's $116.95 million in 2012. More than 50 million euros of that was given to the Pope for his charitable works. The improvement in earnings was driven by profits made on the value of securities that the bank held and sold. I told you, the Vatican is a country unto itself. Net trading income rose to 51.1 million euros from a loss of 38.2 million euros in 2011. So I would say the Vatican Bank is doing well. The picture may not be so rosy for 2013 though, with rising interest rates cutting into profits and millions of euros earmarked for the IOR's ongoing transparency process, which has involved hiring outside legal, financial, and communications experts to revamp its procedures, review its client base, and remake its image. Why are we having these issues all over the world with preachers raping their 14-year-old congregation member, preachers stealing the money, preachers not paying the bills of people who provide service for them? How much of this do we have to hear? Can everybody just I'm looking for the world that maybe is not possible, but I'm looking for the world where everyone loves themselves and try to love each other and help each other when we can, and also help the other person that helped you, and if you don't, that's the world I want to see. The world of love is what I want to see. I am so sick and tired of the hate, the jealousy, and the envy. People envy you for your talent. Hello, I didn't give myself the talent. God gave it to me. What did he give you? Can you search yourself and find your own goddamn talent? Yes, you can. Stop being jealous of the person next to you and find out what is your purpose in this life. And if you need to sit back and you need to look in the mirror a million times before you can accept the fact that you love who you are, that's okay with me. That's cool. I just want you to remember the day. April 30th, 2014 is International I Love Me Day. Follow me on Facebook and on Twitter. You won't forget it because I'll keep reminding you. Overall, we expect 2013 to be marked by the extraordinary expenses for the ongoing reform and remediation process and the effects of rising interest rates. Bank President Ernst von Freiberg said in a statement, he said the publication of the report meets the bank's commitment to providing transparency about its activities. Aside from the earnings, a 100-page report published this week provides some fascinating reading about the secretive institution, because you know the Vatican is very secretive and they're big into real estate and owning all the buildings and all that kind of stuff and loan sharking. The IOR in 2012 had 41.3 million euros in gold, metals, and precious coins, owned a real estate company, and was bequeathed 2 investment properties worth 1.9 million euros. It also made some 25.8 million euros in loans in 2012. So is the Vatican Bank kind of a loan shark too? The Vatican has long insisted the IOR isn't a bank, but a unique financial institution aimed at managing assets for religious and charitable works. Well, in the name of charitable works, I want to remind some people who are doing charity and then they take the money and they pay themselves. You remember the Red Cross scandal? And they buy big dinners for their friends and family members. It is illegal. The money that you raise is supposed to go to the people that you're raising the money for, not for your luxurious lifestyle. Yeah? And lots of you are gonna go to jail, I promise. A distinction that presumably helped it avoid typical banking regulations. So there's always a way for us to, go around the rules so that we get excluded and exempt, because we also hear that President Obama is exempting his friends and the Congress and all those people from the healthcare thing. So even though he kept telling us that we'd be able to get good healthcare like members of Congress and himself and his business friends, we are told, we gotta check that out. You're not gonna get away with it, Mr. Prez. Love you, but we ain't gonna get away with that. And do you realize that people are actually now just demonstrating about this whole government shutdown thing? Yeah, they are. Finally. If this were Europe, people would be on the street in millions. Americans are a bunch of chickens. Yeah, so stay home and don't vote. Anyway. Okay, yet in the past year, the IOR, like a bank, providing asset management services to its clients, earning some 12.2 million euros in fees and commissions for such services in 2012 and making loans. So, is it a bank for religious things, or is it a bank to loan shark and buy up real estate and gold and all those good things? What is it? Why do they keep lying to us? Okay, we're going to take another break and come back in just a moment. I guess Judith is not joining us today, so we'll just continue here on the Diana Wright Show. We welcome you. Remember, April 30th, 2014 is International I Love Me Day. I want you to start thinking about what will you do special for you on that day. Share it with me on Facebook and Twitter. And join the conversation on the Diana Wright Show, Monday through Friday, 10:30 a.m. We are live. The number to call, 561-228-1921. That's 561-228-1921. Join the conversation. Like us on Facebook. And follow me on Twitter. Alrighty, we are back. Yes, we are back, and this is the Diana Wright Show Live. We're on with you every day, Monday through Friday, from 10:30 to 11:30, and that's live. But if you miss the show, which I gather a lot of you are missing because you're not able to log on at your job, just go to the website, www.dianawrighttv.webs.com, and do the good thing. Watch the show you missed that day, the show you missed the day before, and the day before, and tell your friends about it. Share. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Come on. Alright, so there's a rare thing going on, a rare disease, when a neurosurgery patient died from a rare and fatal brain disorder at a New Hampshire hospital this summer. This happened over the summertime. It sent a ripple of panic across the region, particularly for 15 people warned that they may have been exposed to what's called Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease through contaminated hospital surgical equipment. Here goes my book again. You go to the hospital with your 5 senses. You're put in a coma. You leave the hospital with 0 senses. And while you're in the hospital, oh yeah, there's something called C. diff and other bacteria that you pick up there, and that's going to kill you too. So hospitals are a very contaminated place that we should try to stay out of. And if you take charge of your wellness, you just don't have to go there. How about that? That for me is great news. I don't have to go there. Okay. All right. So let's read on. Everyone wondered who might spread this dire bag. And it's called a big bad bug, okay? And who might be at risk. But families of others who have suffered and died from the little known but invariably deadly disease say that reaction is only the beginning of the fare. Discrimination and rejection that CJD patients face. CJD is a short for it. Wow. A Boise, Idaho man died 5 weeks later from CJD, a rare and fatal brain disorder. His body was rejected by 4 funeral homes, and a cremation out of fear of infection. Family members said, "Oh my God, wow." So no one would take his body. How come we've never heard of this before? I've never heard of it. Have you? CJD? It's a brain disease? Wow. That you're contaminated with this through hospital surgical equipment? Oh my Lord. What else do we have to worry about? Wow. Across the country, funeral homes and crematoriums are routinely refusing to accept the bodies of CJD patients out of fear of infection, despite health guidelines that say that with standard precautions, embalming and burial is perfectly safe. Well, I've already adopted to the Jewish. I just love how Jewish people do a lot of things, and burying their dead is one of them. So I don't want my body to be embalmed. I just want to be buried quickly, so there's no embalming necessary. You wrap me into a nice linen cloth or silk white cloth. Make it white, because I want it white. Right? And then just a simple box will do for me. Don't go and buy any $10,000 coffin and then someone comes and turn my body out into the grave and take the box. No, not so, because I'm already dead. And then a year later you can come and celebrate me. Yeah? That's the way the Jewish people do it, and I think it's fantastic. No embalming, please. Just bury me the way I am, the way I died. No pomp, and no one should be allowed at my funeral who you don't think loved me. Yeah. How about that? I gave that stipulation. I sure did. And you should too. People should not be coming to your funeral and bawl and then they really hated you, or they were jealous of you, or they were envious of you. No. Only the people that, just like your wedding. When I got married, just a few people. Pick the people who you don't have to, invite everybody to your wedding. Just the people you care about and they care about you. That's all you need. Oh my word. It happens a lot, said Robert Cassie, and he's a New Jersey funeral director, so he knows, who also sits on the board of the CJD Foundation. Wow, that's an advocacy group? Did you know about this disease? There are many, many instances where families call me and saying they've been turned away. said this man. Some families report that their loved ones who died from CJD were removed from the hospital, placed in double body bags, and taken directly to a crematorium with no warning. What is going on? Others tell NBC News that funeral workers forced pallbearers to wear medical gloves and told mourners to stand far back from the gravesite and to disperse quickly after the ceremony. Are you aware that this is going on? This is a big story, really. And I need to give you every detail of it. Do you have a loved one that might have CJD? Do you know of someone? Are they telling the truth here? Is it that contagious? Well, we just found out that the hospital didn't find someone who was in the hallway or was down the stairwell or something for days. Did they not even miss the patient? I'm telling you about these hospitals. You must read my book, Deadly Negligence. It tells you about the hospital. It tells you. And you go to the emergency room and your bill is $8,000. How can you charge, and you take the ambulance from point A 5 miles up the street and the ambulance bill is $5,000? You stay in the hospital for a few days and your bill is $50,000. What kind of country is this? That's the reason we need to get Obamacare tweaked and fixed so we can all get insurance, so the insurance companies and the hospitals are not taking us to the dry cleaners of destitution. My word. The funeral issue is the bane of our existence, basically, said Florence Krantz, president of the CJD. They get people at their most vulnerable when they've been hit by the freight train of this disease. Wow, I need to learn more about CJD. It's very rare, with about 1 death per million people worldwide each year. Not just the US, worldwide. But Kazai estimates that dozens of the estimated 300 people in the US who annually die from the degenerative brain disease are rejected by the people in charge of final deposition. Oh my goodness, that is just a sad, sad story. And I gotta get us out of this funk. Wow, seriously, I really do. So let's talk about literacy now. You know, a lot of people talk about how, you know, American children are way on down on the pole of math and English and they're really not so bright. It's long been known that American school kids haven't measured well compared with international peers. But now, there's a new twist. Adults don't either. In math, reading, and problem solving using technology, all skills considered critical for global competitiveness and economic strength, American adults scored below the international average on a global test. The report was released this week. Adults in Japan, Canada, Australia, Finland, and multiple other countries scored significantly higher than the adults in the United States in all 3 areas of the test. Beyond basic reading and math, respondents were tested on activities such as calculating mileage reimbursements due to a salesman, sorting email, and comparing food expiration dates on grocery store tags. What? And we failed that? Not only did Americans score poorly compared to many international competitors, the findings reinforce just how large the gap is between the nation's high and low-skilled workers and how hard it is to move ahead when your parents haven't. It's kind of hard for a parent who is illiterate to help a child who is trying to be literate. That's a problem. In both reading and math, for example, those with college-educated parents did better than those whose parents did not complete high school. So you see now why it's important to close your legs and stay in high school and not be producing babies. That's important. The study called the Program for the International Assessment of Adult Competencies found that it was easier on average to overcome this and other barriers to literacy overseas than in the United States. Wow! Researchers tested about 157,000 people ages 16 to 65 in more than 20 countries and subnational regions. It was developed and released by the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, which is made up of mostly industrialized member countries. The Education Department's Center for Education Statistics also participated. The findings were equally grim for many European countries. Italy and Spain, among the hardest hit by the recession and debt crisis, ranked at the bottom across generations. So I guess I won't be moving to Italy. I think I'll try France. Yeah, I'm going to try France. How about that? But I have to find a way to make some euros. Can anyone tell me how to make some euros? Unemployment is well over 25% in Spain and over 12% in Italy. Spain has drastically cut education spending, which is what the Republicans want to do here in America to make us a little dumber than we are already. Join student street protests. But in the northern European countries, that have fared better. The picture was brighter, and the study credits continuing education in Finland, Denmark, and the Netherlands. More than 60% of adults took part in either job training or continuing education. In Italy, by contrast, the rate was half that. So you see, Republicans, it is good to invest in education, because a lot of you don't seem to be very bright. Because if you were bright, you would know what the deficit would do. You complained about it, and that's almost fixed or getting there. Then you try to kick Obamacare. Then now you're coming back to the deficit. Then we forgot about sequestration. Then now you're talking about entitlement. And when they say entitlement, people, please don't be fooled. They're talking about Social Security and Medicare. And it's not an entitlement. You paid into it if you ever worked. If you ever worked in the United States, you have paid into Medicare and you have paid into Social Security. It's not a handout like the Republicans would want you to think, like Paul Ryan and Mitch McConnell and crazy Ted Cruz and Marco Rubio. It is not an entitlement. I am sure Marco Rubio is not telling his grandmother and his mother, who came here just like every other immigrant and not because of Castro, which he lied about in his book. They're not giving back their Social Security checks, or they're not giving up their Medicare. Why do you guys continue to lie to people? Please give me a break. I am tired of it. I'll take another break, and I have to come back in just a moment. Seriously, this is just bad news. Bad, 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 bad news. Come on, people. Hello, everyone. It doesn't matter who you are, how rich you are, how poor you are. But there has to be a point in your life, and you will come to that point, where you have to take someone you love to the hospital. But have you ever considered that you could take that loved one, in my case, my only child, to the hospital in a normal state, and then you leave 5 months later, brain damaged, in a wheelchair, without your senses? This is my true story, Deadly Negligence, the book, available on Amazon and at my website, dianawrighttv.webs.com. I'm asking you today to get a copy. Support my story. Let us get this out there, because this story will captivate you. It will shock you. It will give you hope. It will increase your faith and make you believe in miracles again. Thank you for picking up your copy today. And just in case you know Oprah Winfrey or Tyler Perry or Mr. Levinson, let them know this is worth a movie. Thank you. Get your copy today. Alrighty, aha, we are back. Yes, we're just fading back now. Yeah, I see, who do I see going up to the podium there now? I see the Republican, yeah, I'm monitoring CNN while I'm talking to you, so, okay, let's see how they behave today when they go to the White House. Alright, time is almost running out, but I want to show you something before I go. I'll deal with it tomorrow, because I'll give it to you. It's about sex. Sex, 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 and more sex. So they say sex can make you thinner. I'll give you the details tomorrow of that, what that means. Sex, it may improve your health. Hello? What are we missing here? Ha ha. Sex can improve your health? Okay. How many of you can't wait till tomorrow? Sex, it can help you get a better night's sleep. I think that only applies to the guys. I don't think that applies to the women, does it? Ladies, come on now. Hit me up on Facebook and give me your answers to that question. Does having sex make you sleep better or give you a good night's sleep? I think that is just the guys that are getting that joy. Because they just go to sleep like little angels. While you sit there or lie there and go, how do I sleep now? Did I have an orgasm or didn't I have one? I wanted to have one, but I didn't. What's going through your mind, ladies? Is it sleep? Do you go to sleep? Inquiring minds want to know, like me. Anyway, it's time to go, so I'll finish that. It's a long list, so I'm going to finish it tomorrow, okay? Because I don't want to start it now and it's time to go. I want to say thank you so much for joining me today. I guess Judith must have had an emergency why she could not join us today, but we'll find that out and let you know. And also, if you love something, set it free. If it comes back, it's yours. If it doesn't, it was never yours. Don't forget that come October 19th, you will be joining me for my first book signing. It is indeed a life event, you know. Not many of us get to write books about our lives and tell our deep, dark secrets in them. Yeah? Not many of us get to do that. I've gotten to do so. Even though it was a tragic experience, I truly, truly believe that it will help someone else. So join me October 19th from 6 to 9 p.m., 700 Southwest 78th Avenue. That's in Plantation. It's a beautiful building called Midtown 24, and it's in the Alibi Room. Gorgeous. And don't forget, this is being sponsored by Rad Wellness, and they're going to put on a raw food show for you with a chef in tow. And Dax just tells me yesterday we're going to have brownies made without butter and sugar and eggs. I can't wait. And if you bought the book already, please bring the book with you so I'll sign it. You can buy books for gifts. Christmas is coming. For those of you who believe in Christmas. Yeah. Or Valentine's Day is coming. I don't know if you can give a book for that. But it's worth giving it as a gift. So have yourself a blessed day and do join me tomorrow morning. It is Wow Big Friday. And I'm sure we're going to hear about this short-term deal and what took place with the Republicans today. The Democrats were happy yesterday when they came from the White House. Let's see how content the Republicans are. Take care. And don't forget, I'd like to be owning the bank, being a politician for the power, and owning the bank will get me the politicians, and being a preacher. And yes, owning the CBS or my own media company somewhere, the BETs and the TV Ones of the world. Blessings to you and yours. Don't forget the magic words today. I love me.